Hello, gorgeous humans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into something a little bit different, jewelry trends for 2026. I absolutely love putting together the fashion trends and the home trends, so I thought we would just keep it going in January and take a deep dive into a very specific accessory, and that is jewelry. So here we are. Now, I've done my research, and as you guys know, I looked into the major publications that I love for fashion, and that is Who What Wear, Vogue, Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan, and this time a retailer, Net-a-Porter, to bring you the trends that just keep coming up again and again by journalists online. And what I am loving about jewelry this year is that it really mirrors what we're seeing in fashion overall, so it's not gonna be hard to find. We're taking a bit of a shift away from quiet luxury, that restraint. We're getting into personal expression, joy, having fun, and just really being present with ourselves. It is not about buying every single one of the following trends. If you see something you love and it resonates with you, go for it. And hey, it may even be about bringing out some of the pieces that you have just had packed away for a really long time to give them another moment in the sun. So grab your tea, let's get comfy cozy, and quickly cover jewelry for 2026. Trend number one is all about cuffs for the wrist and ear. Okay, so first up, let's talk about cuffs, wrist cuffs and ear cuffs, because they are both having a major moment right now. We'll start with the wrist. So we're looking at sculptural cuffs. They are basically everywhere, and a lot can be even traced back to the Elsa Peretti's iconic designs at Tiffany & Co. Those fluid, body-aware designs, they just feel relevant today. And the key for 2026 is these cuffs are bold, they are thoughtful, and they are being worn as a statement piece, but specifically in this case, a lot of times solo. So you're letting them be the focal point on what would have otherwise been just a really basic look. And then there is the ear cuff, and that is one piece of jewelry that just dominated the red carpet this year. We saw it on Rihanna, Kate Blanchett, Julia Garner, Cynthia Erivo, and the list goes on. What I think a lot of people love about ear cuffs, and I would say the same, is that you get this sculptural silhouette, but then you don't need the additional piercing. I only have one hole. I have not built up the courage to get another one, so having a little earring stack feels hard for me right now, but with this, it makes it feel really easy, effortless, but impactful at the same way. The styling note for these is for wrist cuffs, keep the rest of your jewelry really minimal. Let the cuff do the talking and even layer it over top of a sleeve for really cool impact. For ear cuffs, that also works really beautiful in a curated ear stack or worn alone. I have seen some that make really big impact, or you can get one that's a little bit dainty, but you can always go creative or simple either way when it comes to either type of cuff. Trend number two, all about stones, and specifically the bezel setting. Colored stones and bezel settings are having a huge moment, and I am in love. I think this is such a pretty and personality-driven trend. So first, let's talk about color. After years of just neutral diamonds and barely there sparkle, that more minimal style, we are seeing a real shift towards gemstones that tell a story. Sapphires, emeralds, rubies, they're popping up everywhere and in unexpected shades as well that are really adding a playful pairing to whatever you have in your wardrobe, maybe those elevated basics. Cosmopolitan is calling out sacred stones and desert diamonds, just really in those earthy, natural stone, the tiger's eye, the quartz, and even moonstone having a little bit of a moment. And the way that stones are being set, bezel settings, are absolutely trending. For those who don't know, and I learned this as well, bezel settings are encasing the gemstone. So it's a metal rim that goes around the stone rather than prongs. It's sleek, it's modern, it's incredibly practical because that means that your stone is really protected and secure. This has become especially popular in lab-grown diamonds, and I think it's really pretty. A nice spin on what we have been regularly seeing. A side note here is colored stones are a beautiful way to add personality without really committing to something that's overtly trendy. And you can personalize it to you too. You can choose a stone that speaks to you, whether it's complementing your wardrobe, or maybe even it's a birthstone, or it's just a color that makes you really happy personally. I love a simple diamond, and I will never say that those are out of style because they never will be, but adding a bezel design around it just adds a little bit of modernity to an otherwise very simple look. And I love that color's coming back in both our wardrobes and our jewelry. Trend number three is tassels. Tassels also in the major spotlight for fashion this year. Now they are swinging full force into jewelry as well. This is bringing me back to my bauble bar phase of having earrings. I bought a pack of 3 tassel earrings, and boy, boy, were they heavy. I hope they've gotten lighter over the years. But that movement and texture is especially what this trend is all about. We are seeing tassel details on earrings, on necklaces, and even on bracelets. And Net-a-Porter, who retails, definitely sees their search engines going up when it comes to tassels, specifically in necklaces. Who What Wear called out that tassel jewelry in black is what they are looking at as having a particular moment. Maybe it's because we are in the winter months or black always seems like a safe bet, but I love the versatility of this trend. What's cool is you could add a tassel earring to jeans and a white tee or an evening dress, and they still have this amazing personality moment, and they add drama without being too costumey, and they add movement without being too overwhelming. Our styling note for tassels: if you are nervous about tassels, start with a pair of statement earrings or just one single necklace. They're playful, wearable, and endlessly eye-catching. Black tassels, like Who What Wear called out, super chic right now. And a side note, what's so funny is after doing the home trends video, I realized that tassels was one of the big trends there too. So apparently it's just having a really big resurgence all over the design world. Trend number 4, ring stacks. Bare fingers, officially a thing of the past. Ring stacks in 2026 are bold, chunky, and unapologetically fun. We are talking about mixed metals, oversized bands, sculptural shapes, diamonds that feel a little bit more playful than precious, and kind of like what we talked about before with the stones. It's definitely a clear departure from the quiet luxury minimalism that we have been seeing, a very big theme throughout this whole video. But equally, if your wardrobe, like mine, is geared towards elevated basics and really making those pieces work for you, adding jewelry is such a great way to make your outfits pop. As well, if you invest, you can wear it a ton, jewelry specifically, and that just means the cost per wear goes down and the value for your dollar goes up. I really like adding pieces of jewelry to my wardrobe over spending a ton on trendy clothing pieces. The best part is there is no wrong or right way to do stacking. But if you are someone who loves a little bit of a guideline, kind of like me when it comes to styling, like where do I start? Marie Claire spoke with experts and they were really saying that we're looking for those curated stacks that are clean and intentional. So rather than just throwing on every single piece that you have, try to build that story with the thoughtfulness, mixing your heirlooms, maybe different textures and shapes, and even some new pieces that you think that will mix in well. Trend number 5 is timepieces. Watches are getting their sparkle back. And we are seeing a rise in what journalists are calling cocktail watches. You can think of some of the signature pieces at Cartier or the Bulgari Serpentine watch. These are watches that blur the line between function and fashion. You've got bold colors, diamond accents, playful shapes, and a sense of personality that feels really now. So what's different in 2026? How is this actually different from what we've seen before? The cocktail watches that we're seeing now aren't just for galas. They are being styled as everyday pieces, worn everywhere from brunch to the boardroom, and Cosmopolitan specifically called out vintage timepieces with slim silhouettes and elegant faces a major trend. The other thing I'm noticing, there is a real appreciation for vintage watches, something with character, something with a story. Maybe look for mother of pearl in the face or a mixed metal design, pieces that look like they could be or they are in fact family heirlooms. Currently, I am not allocating much of my budget towards investing in a very expensive watch. I have a mixed metal watch that is just a Seconda watch and I love it. I do love the thinner band and the small watch face. And I actually have a couple passed down from my grandma that I haven't worn yet, and I think would go perfect with this trend. So a styling note, we can stack our watch with bracelets for that layered look. I have just done that today, or wear it solo as a statement piece. Don't be afraid to style it over a flared shirt, something for an editorial touch. We also talked about that with cuffs. Try to do them over top of your shirts when we kind of reach into those shoulder seasons. I think you're gonna surprise yourself how the smallest amount of styling can completely change up or add interest to an entire look. So the metal we want to talk about, trend number 6, is silver. The metal that I mentioned earlier. If you are looking for maximum impact at an accessible price point, you will be delighted to hear that sculptural silver is definitely having a major moment over gold this year. And I have already snagged a new piece. This is a new bracelet that I picked up from a Canadian female-owned company called Hilberg & Berg. They originated in Saskatchewan. I'll link a couple of my favorite pieces down below for each of these sections, but I am just loving how fresh silver is feeling. Marie Claire spoke to buyers at Liberty London, one of the coolest malls I've ever been to, who noted that as gold prices continue to rise, we are seeing a renewed appreciation for bold sculptural silver jewelry. Designers are using silver to experiment with form and scale and creating pieces that feel expensive and impactful, while on the counterpart remaining more accessible than their gold counterparts. The key word here is sculptural. So we're not looking for dainty silver chains. We are talking about bold shapes, interesting textures, and statement-making designs. It is very true that adding silver to an outfit feels so fresh against both a day and an evening look. So here's your styling note. Silver works beautifully with cool tone fashion. I would start with something like blues and grays and greens. The shirt I wanted to wear today, I wore in my home trends video, but I would love these pieces against a dark gray outfit, and definitely against navy as well. That is one of the big things in the fashion trends video for 2026. Don't be afraid to mix your silver and gold jewelry as well. When I started thinking more about silver, I'm such a gold girly. I am not going to ditch all of my gold jewelry, but slowly add pieces that I can just kind of play with and have fun, but with very much intentionality. And what's so interesting is that in doing these videos, you will notice so much crossover if you also watch the home trends and the other video, because one of the biggest trends for home this year is also silver. So I'm sure that we can kind of deduct that it's because of that price point increase. Trend number 7, bold personality jewelry. This trend basically says anything goes, and that is something that I think anyone can get behind. Jeweler Roxanne First predicts that 2026 will be all about personality expression and wearability when it comes to jewelry. We are seeing lots of layering, chains, rings, bracelets styled together alongside sculptural design-led shapes. Color is key with gemstones, we talked about that, and enamel adding a playful edge. One of my favorite bloggers, Julia Broltzheimer, she started Gal Meets Glam, and she was one of the first bloggers I ever followed years ago. I think that she does jewelry styling the very best. I'll put her Instagram down below. She doesn't really do YouTube anymore, but if you are looking for someone to really give you inspiration, she lives in Charleston and her style is so fun. It makes me want to invest in some more playful pieces now that I know I have my base this year. This ties directly into what we talked about again in the fashion trends video. It's all about personality dressing. In that video, I said this year we are doing a little bit less than maximalism, but still showing up in our own personality. And I called it maximalism's little sister. This definitely applies to jewelry. It's not about wearing, again, every single thing all at once. It's about choosing your statement, committing to it, and then maybe layering a couple of extra pieces on top. Net-a-Porter, again, has noticed a 136% increase in the search for specifically charm bracelets recently, which definitely speaks to a desire to have a piece that feels individual and meaningful. So the styling note here, you could either go to Julia's Instagram and try to copy everything she's doing. I would say stack, create, and combine to your heart's content. You can put it on, you can take it off, you can just have a play during a nap time. I think that's what I'm going to be having to do. The most important trend is investing in pieces that feel like a true reflection of you. So if you love green, try to look for a really cool green piece this year, or blue is the biggest trend this year. Go for that. I love that what we are going to be doing this year with our clothes and with our jewelry is actually wearing them. Like I said during nap time, having a baby, I think, has taught me that time is a thief. Like, I watch him and I literally watch the hourglass disappear. And so I don't want to leave this earth not wearing the sparkle that I have in my jewelry drawer. So please let this be a note to wear your sparkle while you are earthside. Trend number 8 is pieces with permanence, and we are talking about vintage. With the rise of grandma chic and a general appreciation for things in history and vintage inspired jewelry and decor and clothing, this is all having a major resurgence, and this is great news. Multiple publications pointed out that Taylor Swift's engagement ring was a catalyst here. That vintage style old mine cut diamond has single-handedly brought the spot back to ornate and decorative designs. And now we are seeing that renewed in the interest of Georgian inspired burnished gold settings, Art Deco designs, intricate engraving. and antique stone cuts like old mine cuts and rose cuts. All of this vintage appeal as well connects to sustainability. So as people are moving away from fast fashion, we're growing that appreciation for jewelry, again, that feels meaningful and enduring. Actual vintage pieces not only nail the aesthetic, but they come with their own memories and their own stories and almost their own energy, if you believe in that too. A style note, raid your family's jewelry box with permission. Maybe see if your grandmother has an old piece of jewelry or your mom's earrings or something that's been passed down in a dusty old box in the back of your closet that you haven't looked at for a long time. Mixing pieces that are old with your newer pieces is just such a cool way to really build that jewelry story. And a quick mention, before we wrap up the trends, I didn't make this a main one, but it is continuing on from 2025, and that is cord jewelry. I wanted to quickly mention this trend because it was still very much a strong mention, and I've been seeing it still in merchandising online and when I walk into stores and I see mannequins. I purchased this one last year, so I went and got it in my George so that I could show you guys, but I was very much super postpartum at the moment, so I really didn't get the chance to give her the attention that she deserves. But this is a very 90s inspired trend. You can do resin charms, organic metal pendants. You can also do something like beads. And what's nice is if you are someone who's sensitive to jewelry, the cord's not going to affect your neck likely, and this can lay on your clothing, so it won't really affect your skin as well. And it's such a fun way to add personality in a high-low jewelry sense because you can mix luxury craftsmanship with something that's a little bit more playful and accessible when it comes to trends. I picked mine up from H&M, so I will link a couple down below. I'll link a few different ideas for jewelry down below for every single one of these trends. So a style note for this is I love layering mine over a really simple outfit. It's such a great way to bring that modern feel to an otherwise basic formula. So think a really basic tee or a t-shirt dress or something like that. So there you have it, the jewelry trends for 2026 according to our fashion watchdogs. From sculptural cuffs to vintage inspired heirlooms, bold ring stacks, and the return of silver. It is all about personal expression this year and wearing what you have. And remember, as with fashion and home trends, and especially jewelry, it is so deeply personal. Jewelry often carries memories and emotions and stories. And wow, these trends, they can offer a fresh perspective and even a little bit of inspiration. The love for a piece should always come first. And honestly, I need to do a really good jewelry declutter and cull and just see what I've got this year and maybe remake the video that I made so many years ago. So let me know if you would like to see me decluttering my jewelry and where I've picked up some of my favorite pieces. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up because it really does tell the algorithm that we should push this girl's channel out, and subscribe as well. I would love for you to be part of this cozy little nook of the internet. I love to share style, lifestyle, home content, and some little moments of motherhood as well in between the way. And I'd love to have ya, but let me know in the comments, which jewelry trends do you like? Are you gonna try? Or are you thinking, oh my gosh, wait, I think I actually have that piece, runs to jewelry box, runs to wardrobe, and picks them out and gives them a little moment for 2026. But as for me, I'm gonna go hang out with my baby. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.